What's up, folks? It's Dr. Remy LeBeau. I'm coming at you once again from the X-Lair to give you my thoughts on the most current episode of Twin Peaks, which was fucking great, and kind of give my overall thoughts on the series itself. So, since my last Twin Peaks video, which I made on the day the first episode aired, I went back and I rewatched the entire original series. And the film that was released subsequent to that, Fire Walk With Me. So the way I watched it, so Fire Walk With Me is basically an account of what happened like right before Laura Palmer died and kind of showing her death. In the show, it took about a year and a half to reveal all that stuff. Like, it was revealed halfway through the second. Well, halfway through the second season, it sort of all got resolved in a way. And so what I did, I think I watched the pilot, and then I watched the original movie because I didn't want to fucking go through the whole thing of like, who killed who or whatever. Like, I just wanted to know. Yes, I know it's wrong, but it was actually very right, because it allowed me to just kind of like see where the show was going, and I understand now that the show is not just about the death of Laura Palmer and the resolution of that. Obviously, it was about like this, and there's gonna be spoilers here. So if you haven't watched any of this stuff, don't watch the video. I don't want you to get spoiled. And if you don't care, fuck it, watch it. Anyway, so it's about like the spirit world and kind of like the weird world that spirits exist in the reality that David Lynch weaves, which is not your traditional, like, you know, Christian lore of like, there's a heaven and a hell and there's a spirit, and like spirits are sometimes in the middle and they don't go to heaven or hell. Like, it's not that. It's something completely different. And it's really interesting. And I can see it now, but you couldn't really see it then. And then like the show itself, it was trying to be just like a drama kind of wrapped in. Well, it was a David Lynch film at heart, wrapped in like your standard kind of network drama. And I think it was trying to become more of like the network drama type stuff after it resolved the death of Laura Palmer and like the revealing of the killer, which was her father, possessed by Bob. Because I think that was like maybe episode 10 in the second season, and then the episodes after that were really not that great until the last couple of episodes, where once again we get sucked back into like the world of like Bob and what was revealed to be called the Black. Was it the Black Lodge? Yeah, it's the Black Lodge. It's like that red room reality where the short person was, and everybody kind of talks like slow and like and the accents on the words are different, and so they have to have subtitles. It's so brilliant. I love it. Anyway, so in those last two fucking episodes, essentially in the last episode, Agent Cooper, right, Kyle MacLachlan, he goes into that place, and then there's like, he's split into two, I guess. There's like another version of him that's supposed to be him possessed by Bob, and then the bad version of him escapes the place, and then Cooper himself stays in, and then the show ends. And it's a cliffhanger, and everybody knows that Bob, who was inside of Laura Palmer's dad, who killed Laura Palmer, is now inside of Cooper. What's going to happen next? Show canceled. Nothing happens next. Fucking 25 years later. But first, before I say that, funny thing, in that very last episode, in the Red Room, in that, the Black Lodge, the Black Lodge version of Laura Palmer tells Agent Cooper, "I will see you in 25 fucking years." She says that to him. This new show, the revival, the very first scene is once again that clip. "I'll see you in 25 years," and then it goes into the fucking show. I mean, obviously David Lynch must have been thinking about this the entire time, thinking, okay, it's almost 25 years, I need to fucking get back on this. Anyway, I'm so glad he did. I can totally see now what's happening with this new revival. It is a direct fucking continuation of the show. 25 fucking years later. It feels like just season 3. Alright, it's time for season 3, 25 years later. Like, this is fucking David Lynch telling all these assholes out here trying to reboot and remake and fucking sequelize shit in a terrible way. Like, this is how you fucking do it. Alright? This is how you fucking do it. You do it like this. You take what you had and you fucking keep doing it. But it's a little bit more magical than that because remember, the show ended and then David Lynch made Fire Walk With Me. So he was able to kind of give the full cinematic treatment to the Twin Peaks world in Fire Walk With Me. And so now he's taken that aesthetic and continued season 3 with it. So it's even better than you could have ever fucking hoped for back in the day. It's a good thing it was canceled back in the day because then we wouldn't get this fucking high-ass quality filmmaking television in what's happening with season 3, which is fucking spectacular, man. Every episode is just... I'm a fucking cineast, man. I went to film school. Currently, I'm an economist. I'm teaching economics. I want to become a renowned researcher. I'm working on that. My mind is economics, but my heart is film. And I fucking love like filmmaking, and I love filmmakers that play with the form and just like kind of take film apart and put it back together again in weird and interesting ways. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But if you're not doing that, then you're not truly creating art. You're just taking what somebody else did and redoing that, and that's not art. That's just replication. It's uninteresting to me. Sometimes it's entertaining, but it's not interesting as far as the art form of film goes. David Lynch is a true fucking filmic artist. In fact, he's probably one of the fucking best. And he has not made films in a while. And now he's making this fucking series. He's directing all the episodes. This is a 22-hour, I think it's 22 episodes. I didn't verify that, but I'm pretty sure it is. I think I heard that. A 22-hour David Lynch fucking movie. And every episode is like fucking filmic candy, man. Every episode you're gonna get some weird fucking shit and you're gonna watch it and you're gonna be like, did I just fucking see that? Did that just fucking happen? Like this last episode. There was a scene. Like it cuts to a fucking bar, right? And it's just a stationary shot. The bar is in the background and the foreground is just like a dirty floor. And there's this guy sweeping. Now in a normal drama, you have an establishing shot of the restaurant. That's what they did, of the bar. They had an establishing shot of the bar. And then you cut in, and then, the action starts. That's what you expect. We cut into this place, and there's a guy in the foreground sweeping. And that went on for like 3 or 4 fucking minutes. The guy was just fucking sweeping. David Lynch, I love you! Anyway, I fucking love what's happening in the show. Anyway, I need to talk about this. So, what compelled me to do this video was, I forgot to get her name. So, Dr. Ellie Sattler from Jurassic Park made an appearance on the fucking show. This is another great thing about this show. Like, you can tell that people want to be on this fucking show. People want to work for David Lynch, and they are willing to fucking do it. You have, Ashley Judd. I'm pretty sure she's an Academy Award-winning actress. She's playing like some just like random role. Every now and then you'll see some like big star, well, relatively big star. Like throughout the last 20 years, like they had star power at some point. Just kind of pop up there. So here she is. I forget, Dr. Ellie Sattler. I can't remember her name. Anyway. She played fucking Diane. So for those of you that obviously know the show, Agent Cooper throughout the first 2 seasons was always talking into a recorder. Diane, I'm going to assume Diane was his assistant. And he's always describing things to her, like really odd things in really odd ways, kind of giving his philosophical perspective on the things that were happening, which is an odd thing to do. To in terms of like relaying information in a professional setting, right? You're not often poetic. Anyway, so I mean, that was always interesting. We never saw who Diane was, but in my mind, I always assumed Diane was like this kind of homely old woman with glasses and like, you know, like really conservatively dressed and like super nice. Like, that's what you imagine in your mind. You know, that's fucking Diane. In this episode, we reveal Diane. She's wearing, and it's fucking Dr. Ellie Sattler from Jurassic Park. I forget what her fucking name is! God damn it! Anyway, I should have fucking looked it up before I did the video. She has like this white fucking wig on. That was like the Uma Thurman Pulp Fiction hair, but like white. And she's dressed all fucking kind of modern, you know, sexy modern, kind of with an edge. And I'm like, this is fucking Diane? And then Diane, and she is a fucking bitch, and a bitch in a great way, like just assertive and powerful, and also just like not taking any shit from anybody. Like she cusses people out a few times. It's just like the complete opposite of what you would expect, but also just like the performance was so good. It's like, give it to me, give me this. This is what I want. I want to be surprised. I want to be captivated. You know, I want to be taken to another place that's exactly like the place I live in, but not. You know, I just want that, you know, and that's what the show is giving me. That's what David Lynch is giving me, and I'm so fucking happy with it. It's so fucking satisfying. This Diane thing was exquisite, but it's just one of so many things. Like, there's so many weird, fucking awesome things happening on this show. One thing after the next. Thank fucking goodness that that David Lynch stood his fucking ground, and even when Showtime tried to pull the plug, he was like, fuck you, I'm walking away. You're not gonna let me finish this the way I want to fucking do it? I'm out. And they freaked out. Everybody in the public fucking went crazy when we heard about this. And they let him fucking finish the show, and thank fucking goodness he did, because now we are getting this fucking jewel of a show. Up until this point, I thought, like, I don't know if you guys have seen Ash versus the Evil Dead, but like, that show is probably the most successful revival of anything I'd seen up until this point, where you know, it continued something that we saw like years ago. I mean, Ash versus the Evil Dead, that's a sequel essentially to Evil Dead 2, even though it does continue. Obviously, Ash versus the Evil Dead, not Ash versus the Evil Dead, Army of Darkness was the third film in the series. Like, they don't have the rights to it. It's like a weird thing, so they don't really reference it. So the show is a direct sequel to Evil Dead 2. Evil Dead 2 happened like, what is it, late 80s, early 90s? This show feels like a real fucking sequel to that show. It legitimately feels like it. Everything about it is like organic to that world. It doesn't feel inconsistent. It feels natural. And that, in my mind, up until this point, had been like the best revival, sequel, whatever you want to call it, of like this old content that ultimately reflects like our member berries, right? Like the desire for nostalgia, which if you guys saw the last season of South Park, it's so fucking hilarious. They had these little member berries and these little blueberries that kind of talked, and they were like, remember Star Wars? Yeah, I remember. And it's like they just kept referencing things. Remember AT-ATs? I remember AT-ATs. And like, it was just hilarious. And it was just commentary on how like we are just kind of digging up the past and wanting to kind of relive old joys, which is fine. I don't think there's a problem with that, as long as we acknowledge that that's what's happening versus just kind of be enthralled by its hypnotic magic, even though that's fine too. Anyway, that was the best example of member berries. This is actually better than that. I mean, it's not much better because that shit is quality, but this on Showtime, fucking all the actors, like, so as far as like all the other characters in Twin Peaks go, like they're slowly starting to kind of sprinkle in like the old actors. I'm still waiting to see if they got Laura Flynn Boyle to play Donna or not. We'll see about that. Oh, and then what's her name? The daughter of the lodge owner. We haven't seen her. Oh, Sherilyn Finn. We haven't seen her yet either. I hope she fucking pops up. But if she doesn't, it's fine. Like, so in that one scene with that guy was sweeping, like there was a guy in the background just kind of like probably the bartender, like adding up receipts at the end of the night. Nobody else was at the bar. The bar shut down. And again, like the guy was sweeping, and I was like, "Is this what's going on here?" I don't know, but I fucking love it. Keep going. And then eventually we show the guy in the background. And it's like this guy Leo, who was one of the guys that was later revealed to be one of the people that was involved in the night of Laura's murder. He wasn't directly involved with the murder, but he was there. Like, there he is, 30 years later, doing what he was doing 30 years ago. Like, it's fucking great. Like, those, they just start to sprinkle in these characters from the old series, and it all feels, again, organic, natural. Season 3, 25 years later, but fuck it, season 3. It's so good. I so fucking recommend it. If you haven't seen it, go fucking watch the show. Do yourself a favor. If it doesn't happen right now, obviously, just put it on the list of things to do. Like, I highly recommend it. It is so good. So good. Can't wait for more of it. So yummy. Anyway, that's me just kind of gushing over this amazing fucking new revival of Twin Peaks that has me at the edge of my sanity, which is a good thing. And of course the edge of my seat. Anyway, thanks for checking out my channel. Thanks for checking out my videos. If you haven't already done so, subscribe. You can do so right here. And as always, I'd like to remind you, if you haven't already put an X in that box, you should, because ain't nobody checking me, folks. Take care. Bye-bye.